Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Anis from HP Tuners, and today we're going to talk about the MAP RTD. RTD stands for Remote Tuning Device, which is exactly what it sounds like. If you want access to a custom tune by MAP, but you can't make it all the way into the workshop, the RTD allows you to receive a tune remotely using your phone. Compared to other tools on the market, this is a smart tuning tool. And the reason we say that is because there are other tools which allow you to receive a tune remotely, but they are not optimized for your vehicle. Using the RTD, you can get a bespoke tune that caters to your vehicle's mods, mileage, and engine history. The difference with the RTD is that it allows for a back and forth communication. So you receive a base file, you go out and drive, send back the data, and then MAP can make adjustments based on what needs to be done, meaning you walk away with a fully custom tune for your vehicle. There's loads of other cool features as well, like changing your map, using it as a track day tool, fault code scanning, and so much more, which we'll cover in this video. There's two ways of getting one of these devices. You can either go on the MAP website and purchase one, or if you come in and have some work done at their workshop, you can drive away with one to use as a diagnostics tool later down the line. This device is made to work with your smartphone, so you'll also need to download the TDN app by HP Tuners. TDN stands for Tune Delivery Network, and the app allows you to send data back and forth to your tuner, and they can also send you calibration files, which you can then flash in directly into your vehicle's ECU. Now let's go through a quick walkthrough of TDN, and I'll show you just how to use the app. But before we begin, there's three key things you need to keep in mind. Number one, you need a really strong internet connection, preferably Wi-Fi. Number two, your phone software needs to be fully up to date. And number three, your TDN app also needs to be completely up to date. So we've already downloaded the TDN app, so I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And here you're greeted with this message, which basically says, let's start the setup. So we'll click that. Grab your MPVI or RTD device to begin, which I have. Plug your MPVI or RTD device into the vehicle. So we plugged in our RTD device. I'm going to hit next. Look for a steady green light on the front of your device, which we have, and I will hit ready. Press and hold the Bluetooth button. And now the device is blinking blue, so we'll hit next. And now the TDN app is pairing to our RTD. Okay, your device has been paired and it's now ready to use. And let's just agree to these, accept, and here we are. So now you can see the app is completely branded with MAP's logo, and we have access to a few different functions here. So we have read write, we have datalog, and we have diagnostics. We'll run through all of these now so you can understand exactly what they do. So first thing we'll need to do is we'll need to make an account on the TDN app. So I'll do that now. I'll hit create account. I'll just follow all the on-screen prompts. We'll skip this part because it's a little bit boring. So let's start off with reading your vehicle's stock file. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, anything like that, make sure to disconnect your phone because it can take over your phone's network and make it really hard for your phone to communicate with the RTD. So let's go ahead. We'll start by hitting read write. Down at the bottom right, we will hit read vehicle. So now it's connecting to the RTD4, and we'll go ahead and we will hit read vehicle. Okay, so now we just need to wait for this timer, and it's reading the car out. Don't worry if your car is making, bings and bongs and all kinds of noises, that's normal. Okay, and now it says turn off the ignition. So we'll do that, and we will hit ready. Wait 3 seconds and turn the ignition back on. Let's turn it back on and hit done. And it says read completed. So now we're just receiving the file from our RTD back onto the TDN app. Okay, so now you can see it says your vehicle tune has been read and sent to your linked tuner. Once your tuner sends you a tune via TDN, you'll be able to use this app to write it to the vehicle. So we'll hit OK. So now MAP has received the stock read for this vehicle, so they can take a look, they can make some adjustments, and then they can send us a file back. So we sent our read file off, and now MAP have sent us a tune file back. So we'll go ahead and we'll click write. Here it is. It's this one here. And you can see they've given a little description. Stage 1, 450 plus horsepower. 450 plus horsepower in a Ford Ranger. Anyway, we'll go ahead and we will click sync and write. Plug the RTD4 in, turn the ignition on, do not start the engine, and you'll need to keep the app open. So we'll hit write. Another really important tip while you guys are reading and writing from your vehicle, if possible, try and have the battery hooked up to a tender just to make sure that there's no fluctuations in your voltage or anything, because sometimes that can cause issues. Okay, so the write's done. Now it says turn off the ignition, so we'll do that. Hit ready. Wait 3 seconds, turn the ignition back on. 1, 2, 3. And we will hit done. And that's it. That's how you write a tune file to your vehicle using TDN. So that's reading and writing done. Now let's move on to some of the other functions with TDN. I'm going to skip data logging for now, and we'll come back to that shortly. I'll go on to diagnostics. So here you can basically read diagnostic trouble codes and clear them. So turn the ignition on, plug in the device. Let's do that. Tap read codes. Let's do that here. So here's a list of all our diagnostic trouble codes. Now in this case, this is a pretty new car, so we don't actually have any. But if we did, you would just hit clear codes down on the bottom right, and then follow the prompts on screen to erase all of your trouble codes. Now let's move on to data logging, and to do that, we're gonna jump into a different car. So we'll see you outside. Okay guys, so I said we'd come back to data logging later, so we've switched to outside now. We're in the HP Tuners Golf R. We've got our RTD plugged in, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit data log, and then just hit start and plug the RTD4 in, start the engine, which we've done, so we hit ready, and it's just gonna connect, and just like that, we're all ready to go. So now I'm gonna drive around for a bit. I'm gonna do a few pulls in second, third, fourth gear, get a nice range of data to give to MAP, and then I'm gonna send them the file. They can make some adjustments and we can perfect the tune on this car. All right, so we're on the road now. We've set up our data logging, and we're just gonna do a quick pull, second, third, and fourth gear. Another thing you can do, so you can tap the gauges to give you a full screen display. So you can see your RPMs, your throttle input, intake temps, coolant temps, and obviously when you send the data file to MAP, they'll see a lot more. This is just your view as a driver. Another thing you have to do when you're data logging is you need to get a range of driving. So you need some slow driving around town, as well as some wide open throttle, and that way Motorsport and Performance can see exactly which area to improve, whether that's something like your throttle response, or maybe you have a torque dip when you get to 5,000 RPM, I don't know. But always remember, give them a range of driving. The more the better, to be honest. So that was our very fun data logging session done. So now we're just gonna stop the data logging and send it off to MAP. So we'll hit stop here. Okay, data logging has stopped, so we're gonna go to view and sync files. This was a 2020 Volkswagen. Don't worry about why there's a Mini Countryman on the screen. And you can see here, this was our latest data log. So we'll hit upload. And this is now sending the file to Motorsport and Performance so they can take a look and tweak the calibration file. Complete, and we can verify. So if we go back, you can now see there's a green tick on the cloud icon, which means they've received the file. So that's a quick rundown of the RTD. Whether you're coming into the workshop and you want to leave with a diagnostics device, or you're halfway around the world and you want a custom tuning package, Motorsport and Performance have got you covered.